Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm going to get on that honing job on the CT-3. I think I'm pretty much ready to go. We're going to go over on the Sunnen hone and start that out. I'll just get you overhead here real quick so we can kind of review where we were at and what we're going to do. So let's do that. All right, let's see here. We've got the cylinder. We bored. It's all done. We did that yesterday, and the piston still won't fit in there. And our piston measurement was let's see here, 2.618, I think. And I'm measuring just above the holes here. Yamaha says 3/8 of an inch. That's about it. And there we go, 2.618. Okay, so I've already got my dial bore gauge set up. I'll lock my mic there. Okay, I've got my bore gauge in the setup fixture, and it's zeroed out, and we're setting at this rod right here is your 2-inch rod. So anything over here is what's left on the value side, on the right side of 2 inches. So we're at 618 on the dial. I think you can see that. And zeroed out. So we'll bring that over to the bench here. Okay, bring it over here to the bench, and I just like to verify. I use my micrometer already set at the size we just got off the piston, which is 2.618. And this is just a verification for me. I want to make sure that my gauge is set up properly. This is really hard to do, but there it is, zeroed out right there. So you've got to really be right on to get it. So it's kind of a feel thing. But anyhow, the bore gauge is set up to the size of the piston. I just really like to be careful, double check everything. And then we get to the piston here. And I mean the cylinder, and we'll check that. Okay, that, I'm gonna have to get you a little further out. All right, let's try this again. See if, now I still can't get you. I'm gonna have to get up a little bit here. A little further away so that I can get the whole thing in the picture. Makes it a little harder to read though. Okay. Okay, we're right at about 1 8/10,000 on the minus side. So that means we're not quite the size of the piston yet. The bore is still smaller than the piston. When we get to 0, it'll be exactly the same size as the piston. You'll be able to push the piston through there, but it'll be tight. You won't really want to do it. Okay, so what we're shooting for is about 1 8/10,000 on the positive side. See, we've got the plus side here and the negative side here. I've gone through this before, but some people don't go back and watch the old ones, so just make sure that my new one is all up to date and everybody understands what's going on. And a lot of times I move this back and forth, but see, it stops on its own when it gets over here. When you reach the smallest part of that bore, it quits going this way. So that's why I do that. That's a double check. See, so we're, and here again, we want to check it about, 3/4 of an inch below the top of the piston, or the top of the cylinder. So there we are at about our 1 and 8/10,000ths. So we're going to bore that first until we get to 0, and then we're going to bore it until we've got about somewhere between 1 and 8/10,000ths and 2/1000ths. So we're heading over to the hone right now. I've got some preliminary stuff I've got to do there, and I'll take you through that. Seems like everybody kind of likes that. It's really an old machine. I think it's a 1966. So let's go over there. Okay, this is my Sunnen hone. It's about a 1966 model, I believe, somewhere in there. Old technology, still hones a pretty clean hole, pretty accurate hole. This model is an LBA-666. I think you can see that. And when you, on this, I do it a little different on the smaller cylinders. I've got a different honing machine, or a different honing stone setup. This one here, I can pretty much for 175s up, I can use it. And this is a AN600. It's an attachment that goes on there, and it can be pretty expensive to, if you can find one. I bought mine used off eBay years ago, probably over 10 years ago. And it's, you know, it just, you got to have it. And with this dual stone setup like this, it keeps you from hanging up in the ports. So, well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my truing sleeve, and I'm going to go over my stones with this rotating to true up the stones end to end. And it'll just make sure that I end up with a clean hole when I'm honing. And these are 280 grit. So somewhere when I get pretty close, I'm going to swap over to 400. Those are right here, and I'll probably be running those through the truing sleeve again at that point too, just to make sure they're good. This is a brand new set, just got them, so we'll have to true those also. Anyhow, let's get to it, down to the honing here. It's a pretty messy job. Get a lot of splash and stuff. I've got a kind of a pan down here on the floor, and it's operated with a foot pedal, so I can get it going and stop it all right there. And other than that, I'm going to be tightening the pads up against the cylinder a little at a time. You'll probably see me loosen them to get the cylinder back in and out, that sort of thing. So that's what I'm doing when I'm doing that. And of course through here I'll have the honing oil coming out. This is a completely wet operation. So let's get set up and get ready to go. I've got a rubber apron on too, because it, like I say, it just kind of goes everywhere. and I'll be moving the cylinder end to end from time to time. I try to keep up with that so that the wear stays even. You don't want to exert any pressure on the cylinder up and down or sideways or anything. You're just moving it in and out. And I'm able to most of the time get the oil down through one of the holes, exhaust or the intake, that keeps everything lubricated. And I'm going to turn it around here. It's actually starting to look pretty good already. We've just got to keep an eye on our measurement. Okay, you can see there that we started out at about 1 8/10,000ths, and now we're at about 1 3. So it goes pretty quick with the rougher stone. Okay, we're down to just about 1. It's going pretty quick. It generally takes me about 20 minutes to hone one of these cylinders, 15 or 20. That's all hone time. That's doesn't include changing stones out and the truing the stones up. You just want to do that pretty often too, so that you know you're honing a straight hole. Okay, we're measuring the bottom now, so we're right at 1. Okay. Okay, we're just about to 0. It's on the top, and flip it over, same thing. Okay, so I'm gonna try to go about another thousandths with this stone, and then I'm gonna swap over to the 400. We're at about between 1 and 2 10,000ths over. So let's see what the piston looks like now. Oh yeah. It'll go in there, but it's still a little tight on the skirt. Just double check the bottom too. Yep. You could probably force it through, but you don't want to do it. And I think I'm going to have to go change the battery here. We're at about a half thousandths. And maybe just a little less there, so we'll start on this side to try to pick up that. Okay, now I'm going to change the stones out. So I just pull this piece off and I can pull these stones out. And at that point we'll just reinstall them. There's a particular way they go. And the teeth have got to go towards your pinion. Just like that. Then we can slide it back on, tighten it back up. And then we want to check to make sure that we have adjustment, and we do. Let me turn that around. I don't know that you're close enough to see it, but you can see that it's starting to expand it off of there. And then you can turn back the other way and it comes back together. These are my 400 grit. This will be my finish. First thing I'm going to do, run them through the truing sleeve. One and five. One and five. So we're real close. We've got I want between 1.8 and 1.9 if possible. Okay. One nine. One nine. I think we're going to stop right there. See what the piston looks like. Oh yeah, nice fit, nice fit. All right, get this cleaned up. Okay guys, here we go. Just set that under there. I think that's the best way to do it. A little paper lint in there from the paper towel. And these are, of course, from my checker, my dial bore gauge. Really happy with how she turned out. And so right at 1.9. Same thing, 1.9. So, pretty happy with it, looks pretty nice. So really all we've got left to do is chamfer the ports and put it in the ultrasonic cleaner and clean it up. And we need to check the ring gap. Let me see what I've got over here for rings. I had somebody ask me not too long ago about expanders. I've got expanders with these rings. My rule of thumb is if they come with it, you use them. And there are different ones sometimes. Looks like these are both the same. But if there's some of them look like a W and some of them look like a almost like a hexagon here, and you just need to pay attention to which one you have, and they do go specifically to different locations. The book will tell you. Okay, these are saying they're 50. I'm going to have to find out what they're supposed to be. Okay, when I was looking for the ring gap, which is on the CT2 and 3, it's 20 to 40 millimeters. So we'll be checking that, but here's the expander thing. And it says, you know, when you have them, the expander with the double bend is on the bottom. So this one here, the top one, that's the one that goes on the bottom. The top has more of a hexagon looking. So that's what you want to do if you've got expanders. And a lot of people, you know, they talk like, well, why have them? Well, you know, I really don't know, but I'm assuming that at the time they thought they needed them to give it a little bit more tension. Now later models of these may not have them. You know, newer ring sets, some made later on in the years. And in that case, they probably have put more elasticity or something into the rings so that you no longer need them. But like I said, the way I look at it is if they supply them with the rings, I use them. So these will be used, and these are both the same, so they will be they can be used on either one. But if you've got the one with the double bend, then it can only go one way. And let's see here. Okay, I'm getting about 38 or 0.38 millimeters. They say 20 to 40, so that's about where I'm at. And it's also a good fit. So we've got the keystone ring. This one here, it's got the taper. It'll be tapered on the top, and in this case it does say 50 here for the size, and looks like a T or something, maybe T for top. So that's the upper ring, and then the straight one is your second ring. So I guess all I've got left to do is to chamfer the ports, and I guess I'll show maybe a little bit of that. I've done that on a lot of others, so why don't I just show one port, and then you'll see that. And if you want to see more of it, go back to a couple of the other cylinder boring videos, and I think I show it every time. So let me get ready here. Okay, again on ports, you only need to chamfer the top and the bottom. You don't need to do the sides. And like I've always said before, if you can go in there, if you feel them, if they feel like, you know, they're razor sharp, then they need to be worked on. If they don't, then you don't need to. But I'll guarantee you, these all feel like razor blades. And one thing I wanted to show too, I don't know if I really can show it that well, is the exhaust port that I was having so much trouble with cleaning up. It has just almost completely cleaned up with the honing. I can see just a little bit right here in this corner, but by the time I get through chamfering the port, it's going to look just fine. Everything's looking good on that. It just wasn't clearing up with the bore, but certainly with the honing, we cleaned it up. And like I said, these are just sharper than the dickens. So I use either a diamond or a small stone. This one is a small stone. I do have some diamonds, and I use those occasionally. I probably will eventually go to them completely, but as of right now, I want to wear out my stones, and then I'll swap over to the industrial diamonds. That feels good. Good. Very good. Just doesn't take much. All you got to do is roll that edge over a little bit. Like I say, the rings are coming up. They're going to snag the top, and going down, they'll snag the bottom. But the sides, they're not an issue. So don't worry about those. Just clean up the tops and the bottoms. Okay. And again, on your when you chamfer the ports, you're not done until you chamfer the top. You want a slight bevel on that, and you want to do this right here, the scallop on both sides of the transfer ports. Those get just as sharp from the boring and honing. So all these need to be taken care of. And again, it doesn't take much. Nice. Yep, that's all it takes. Just run your finger across it. Feels sharp, it is. You need to work on it a little more. Okay guys, there you have it. We got the cylinder board yesterday. We got it honed today. Got the rings checked. Got the ports chamfered. And I think we're ready for assembly. All I've got to do is just clean it up. I'll put it in the ultrasonic cleaner and let her go with all the hot water and the vibrating and everything to clean it up. And sometime in the next few days, we'll put it back on. And we're going to check the compression too, just to verify what it is versus how it was. Remember, we checked it tearing it apart. So we'll do that again. I've got the compression tester laying over there on the bike stand, so I'll remember to do it. Okay, hey, thanks for going along on the ride. We'll see you next video.